Good day, dear attendees. My name is Gwen Dinaradze. I'm an independent management consultant, and today I'm hosting this virtual event. It's now my great pleasure to introduce you Monica Gibbs, our first speaker, and I'd like to thank her for joining us today. Also, I'd like to express my gratitude to the Harvard Business School Online Global Community Chapter for the opportunity to lead the virtual event and have a chance to gathering business professionals who graduated from Harvard University. Monica is a certified recruiter, speaker, author, and wellness consultant who is passionate about helping organizations attract and retain top talent. Monica has been engaging audiences of various sizes since 2000, is a storyteller who captures attention by sharing her journey from chaos to balance. She is an active member of the Human Resources Professional Association and the International Coach Federation. She is a mentor and co-authored a book on mentoring. I will share her website address in the chat later, and now please welcome Monica Gibbs with her very interesting webinar on job search and LinkedIn strategies. Also, to avoid connection problems during the webinar, please make sure that your cameras and sounds are off. I'm recording the webinar and it will be available on the Harvard Business School website and Monica's YouTube channel. If you have any questions, please type in the chat and I will read them end of this event. Thank you again for joining us today.
Great. Thank you so much, Gwen. I'm really excited to be here. And hi, everyone from sunny Toronto. When Gwen and I first started collaborating on this, I thought, what a great way to engage people who are job seekers using LinkedIn already, or maybe new to LinkedIn. And what we really want to talk about today is LinkedIn strategy, how to gain visibility and leverage your job search. So I'm going to be going through some points on that. I wanted to give a little bit of background to my inspiration behind the 14 points that I'll be sharing today. And we've got 20 minutes, so I'm going to really be looking at the time, and then we do have time for Q&A after, which is great. So thanks, Gwen, for setting that up. I don't know if anybody saw the CBS This Morning interview with LinkedIn CEO Jeff Weiner, but it really inspired me to share some insights. And after all, when you receive information from the CEO of the company, you really have to take notice. So that's what really inspired me to compile this. Why should you use LinkedIn for your job search? Well, it's no secret that LinkedIn is the top professional social networking site with over 133 million users in the US alone and reaching 200 countries and territories around the world. Recently, I spoke on this topic for an international business school in Barcelona, and it was so interesting to see people from all around the world at this event, which was downtown Toronto, but it really brings people together from different countries, different companies, and it really connects people in amazing ways. I love LinkedIn stories, and I often share them on LinkedIn as well. So it really is a connecting platform, a professional connecting platform. And as per a recent job survey, 87% of recruiters use LinkedIn as part of their candidate search. And I'm one of them. So I'm a recruiter with a search firm, but a lot of my clients also use LinkedIn directly to source talent. So for those of you who may not be familiar, there's a platform called LinkedIn Recruiter Pro that we invest in as recruiters to find talent, to use the advanced search, to sort, and we'll talk about that a little bit later as well. So as a professional or a student, it's the most popular place to network and look for job opportunities. Even former President US Barack Obama stated in one of his interviews at a TV press conference that he would join LinkedIn to help him land a job after his term was up. The issue is that if you're only updating your profile now and then, you're not fully utilizing all LinkedIn can do for you. And also, if you're just reacting to people sending you messages on LinkedIn, or you're just reacting to the notifications, you're not optimizing what LinkedIn can do for you. So we want to help with that, and I'm going to be covering off, some tips that will take hours off your job search and really help you get visible, get recognized, and land that dream job that you're looking for. So I do want to share the LinkedIn CEO's top 3 tips, but I also want to add 11 more. So that's how we get to our 14. So I'll be sharing 14 practical tips on how you can leverage LinkedIn to its fullest to expand your professional network and land your next job. So in his interview, what I also thought was interesting, he shared these 3 top tips. Keep your profile up to date, be comprehensive about current skills objectives, and highlight your recent experience. When asked what was most important about a candidate's profile and how to make the best use of LinkedIn, the CEO responded that first and foremost, authenticity was important. And I can't stress this enough. As a recruiter, I stress it when I'm talking to people about their resumes. We have our resumes and we have our LinkedIn profile. 2 different things, but they have to be consistent. And when you're presenting yourself on your resume, you're presenting yourself on LinkedIn, the key is to be yourself. So Jeff Weiner says, represent who you are. It's not just your experience. It's not just a resume, your LinkedIn profile. This is a more dynamic approach to representing your experiences, your skills, your objectives, what you know, and what you're interested in within a professional context, of course. It's not just about the comprehensiveness. It's about the freshness of the information. The more complete and the more fresh and recent that your information is, the more opportunities that you're going to accrue. So let's jump into our 14 ways to use LinkedIn to get a job. So number 1 is keep your profile up to date. Now, this is a proven fact that LinkedIn members with a profile picture are 14 times more likely to receive page views, while those who post skills are 13 times more likely to have profile views compared to those who don't. This is from LinkedIn's blog, so straight from there. There are more than 45,000 skills to choose from on LinkedIn to beef up your profile. So if you want a future employer to notice you, the key is to regularly update your profile. Make sure your profile photo is professional and that there's no one else in it. It should just be you. It should be professional. It should show who you are and include your notable skills. We'll come back to skills, but there are so many to choose from, and you can select up to 50 to show on your LinkedIn profile. Back to the picture just quickly, there's your profile picture. There's also your background picture. Now, a lot of people, when they click on their profile, they'll just see that it's blue pixels and white lines. I highly recommend having a background picture that speaks to who you are, back to that authenticity. Is it a quote that you love? Is it a quote from a book you're reading? Is it a favorite vacation destination? Again, keeping it professional, but something that speaks to you as an employee, as a prospective employee, something that maybe you're passionate about, that's still professional, but that extends your employee brand. So number 2 is to be comprehensive about current skills and objectives. So to make sure you're using LinkedIn to find a job correctly, don't leave things out about your current skills and objectives. Use the headline to share your main objective, and your skills really to your page, again, are really important. You don't want it to look like you haven't updated your page in a while, because recruiters and companies can see that and they'll just pass by you because they'll say this person is not active on LinkedIn. They're likely not a seeker. So they might assume if it's not up to date or there's no profile picture even, that it's not an active profile. No one's checking messages. They'll think the lights are on, nobody's home. Number 3 is highlight recent experience. Again, you want your recent experience evident to anyone who looks at your page, especially when you're actively engaging with connections and companies to land a job. So with the headline at the top, again, I'm talking about the picture because that's the first thing people see. They see your last name, your photo, and your headline. So those are really most important. I mean, obviously your whole profile is important, but that's really key because those are the items that people see when they do a search. So your headline should really stand out and highlight what you do or what type of position you're looking for if you're able to share that. So HR professional, connecting employees with management. That's an example of a headline. Try not to be too plain with it. You really want to grab attention with it. So saying something like chemical engineer in the public sector, that's kind of plain. You want to beef it up. If you can say seeking opportunities, if you can say passionate entrepreneur, and using words, use 3 descriptive words that describe you. What is your goal? What is your why? What are you looking for? That will grab attention. So make it you, make it authentic, but have it as an attention grabber because that's the first thing that we see. And that bases our decision on, are we going to look at the profile? Are we going to look further? Who is this person? Now, if you're working, you know, number 5 is let people know you're available. If you're working right now, obviously you're not going to flick the switch that you're looking for opportunities, or maybe you will, and it will say, you know, we won't tell your current employer. But if you're able to let people know you're available, I highly recommend that. Again, you can put it right in your headline as an announcement and turn the job seeker status on. When I'm searching, and again, I have LinkedIn Recruiter Pro, on my screen, it sorts people into different categories, and it says those who are looking for a current role, and it says, just trying to pull up an example. So active job seekers, those most likely to respond, and then the largest group is just, you know, again, people that may not have career search on. So when you put that you're actively looking, you actually come up top of our searches. So having that on is a big benefit. So letting people know you're available was number 5. Number 6 is build your network to the first degree. So your connections can really increase your exposure and access to other connections. So LinkedIn makes it easy to connect with people by, like people you know, by importing your contact list from Gmail, for example, or any of your emails, but also reaching out to people in your network to let them know you're looking, and new contacts as well. So I always say to people, try to be reaching out to 3 to 5 new contacts a day. And then within your network, 3 to 5 people that are already in your network that you might want to strike up conversation with, maybe see what's going on at their company, maybe have an informational interview. So I always say, keep your network alive. And LinkedIn makes it super easy because on the home screen, right away, you have your news feed in the home screen. And then you have My Network. And under My Network, you can see the red notifications if people are sending you connection requests, but it also makes it super easy for you because it says people you may know or people you may have worked closely with. And then those are people that maybe you worked with at a past company, maybe you went to school with. We'll touch on that a bit later. But be looking at that page and scrolling down saying, hey, do I know that person? I think Joe works with that person. Maybe they can get me an informational interview at that company, or whatever the case may be. So be looking at the My Network page and scrolling down. And then also we'll talk about searching purposefully, but always build your network to the first degree. Research the companies. Number 7, research the companies you're interested in and follow them. I know that we all jump into the companies and search when we apply for a certain job. So let's say Adidas looking for a sales manager, and we go in and we follow Adidas and we look at what's happening there. But be proactive about companies that might not have a job posting up, but that you know you want to work for, and follow them, see what's happening, see how they're involved in the community, what's their culture, what are they posting? Companies right now are posting about Women's Day. What are their initiatives? What do they care about? What are they doing in the community? So be following companies so that you can see what they're up to. LinkedIn, again, makes it super easy to find and follow companies. So if you haven't already done so, make a list of the companies that you'd like to work for. Super easy, search them, follow them, and then it right away tells you if you have connections there. Right on the top of the page, it'll say connections you have that work here. This will help you stay in the know about the company, the news, and the new positions that come available. Number 8 is to use the advanced search. Now, using LinkedIn's advanced search option to do a search on your favorite company, again, super easy, and will allow you to follow them, and you can comment even on posts that they've done in their page and things like that. So finding out who of your connections is associated with the company you want to work for, make a list. You can reach out to those people depending on their connection with the company. So you might follow Adidas and then notice you have 5 direct contacts that you didn't even know worked there, and message them and say, hey, this is a company that I'm interested in. Can you tell me more about the culture? Can you tell me what roles might be coming up that aren't posted yet? So again, if they work there, you can ask questions about the company. If they're a client or a service provider, you can ask what it's like to do business with them. But get creative and have fun doing your research so you can navigate how best to approach the company for a job when you're ready or when a job is posted, and you already have those connections. Now imagine that you're commenting on things that they're doing in the community. Maybe they're doing something this weekend for Women's Day, and you comment and say, great initiative. So Mackenzie Investments, the CEO, just posted they're doing great initiatives for Women's Day. I did the clapping emoticon and great job kind of thing. So right away, they're seeing that I'm interested in their company from what they're doing. Now I'm doing it from a client perspective, but still they see that I'm one of their partners, that I'm interested in what they're doing. And then when something comes up, they're like, oh yeah, Monica, because I've been engaging with their posts. So you want to be top of mind when that job comes up. Number 9 is a great one. It's asking for an introduction. So once you're ready to reach out to your prospective employer, you can ask your connections to make an introduction to someone they're connected to within the organization. So back to that point, if you see a role posted, your connections might not be the hiring manager. It might be a co-op student there. It might be a business analyst there. It might not be the hiring manager, but you can say, hey, can you put me in touch with the HR manager or the hiring manager? So always ask for the introduction, customize your message, make it specific and direct, and just don't hesitate to send that out. Don't hesitate to ask for that introduction. It never hurts. Number 10 is look for alumni associated with your college or university. So again, you know, this is great for all of you Harvard grads. It's all you have to do is go to the page, and probably you're already doing this, you know, but see who graduated from the same school. It might not even be the same year. It might be a different year. It might be someone you don't know, but they have that in common with you, that they graduated from the same school. So you have that common bond already. So they have that, you know, soft spot, that, you know, that connection point. And so reach out to them. So do a search for your university, and then you can reach out to them and share this interest, and it might help you land your next job. So one of the best and easiest ways to leverage that on LinkedIn is using the alumni tool. You can join or follow your university if you're not already, and then search for past alumni at companies or places of employment that you're interested in. You can also put in any college and search to see how many degrees of separation you may be from alumni at that school as well. So be creative with it. That's point number 10. Number 11 is be more than a wallflower. And what I mean by that is be active on LinkedIn. Again, it's all about engagement and being visible. Now, it doesn't mean posting every day. Again, different social media platforms are used for different things. But when I say active, again, Jeff Weiner suggests be authentic and current. If you have articles to post or something interesting to share, always think, does it add value? Is it likable? Is it shareable? And if it is, post. Even videos. If you're at a cool event, a professional event, and you do a short professional video, that drives algorithms higher. That gets views on your page. Views on your page can lead to a job. So that kind of thinking. Get involved with groups as well on LinkedIn. Groups are an amazing way to interact with others on LinkedIn. So think of what area you're in. Are you finance? Are you marketing? You know, regardless of what area you're in, join groups that are related to that. By location, you can see how many members are in it. So join groups, and also, again, be active in those groups. Be posting or comment on someone else's post. Great share. Thank you. So when participating in groups, you want to make sure that they have recent activity, again, that they're relevant. You don't want to waste your time with a group that's kind of gone inactive. But you can see right on LinkedIn how many members they are, where they're located, what the keywords are. So I highly recommend groups. I'm looking at time, so I want to be mindful here. Number 13 is research your future boss. I know a lot of you are probably doing that already when you have an interview. Before going for an interview, of course, research the hiring managers, the people that are going to be interviewing you, to find out about their likes, their interests, and more. So you can always leverage that information during your interview to create relatability and obviously show that you've done your homework. I think most of you already know about that. The other one is point number 14, and it's network after business hours. Now, by network, I'm going to talk about 2 points if I have time. I have 3 minutes. So according to Mashable, statistics show that 8.33% of Americans use LinkedIn during working hours compared to other social media like Facebook. They have, I think, 30% or higher. So if you're using LinkedIn during working hours, you might not get as much traction as if you're using it after hours. So we're talking about business professionals who are busy during their day. They might treat it as their social media. I'll get to that when I have time. And during the day, they're focused on their emails, they're focused on their meetings, they're focused on their staff, their priorities. And they might not be looking to that till after hours. And you can use LinkedIn any time of day, but play around with it. See what gets you more response. And if after hours gets more response, then do your invites and your engaging posts and your follow-ups in that after hours time, and see what the difference is. Maybe 1 week do it during the day, 1 week do it after hours, and see if you get difference. But this survey suggests that after hours is a really great time to network, engage. And so that was just a tip that came out from one of the recent statistics. While I'm talking about networking, I'm a big believer of networking at in-person events as well. So through these groups and through the home feed on LinkedIn, when you follow people and connect with people, they will share posts that are in your area of interest. Or you can go on Eventbrite and be looking at what events are happening in my area. Then when you're at an event and you want to connect with someone, in that top search bar, if you're not familiar with it, there's a little QR code. And if you scan that code with the person next to you, you're right away connected. So these events are a great way to connect with more than one person in an evening, sometimes 10 to 20 people. I just posted about an Innovate Work event I went to this week. And it was great because people are like, oh, I didn't know about that event, but I'm following you, so now I know about it. It's every month. It's a way to engage. Their whole focus is educate, engage, inspire. And it's a way for people to come together, meet with hiring managers directly. And it's like speed networking. So I highly recommend networking on LinkedIn, but then using those relationships to also network in person as well. So I'm a big believer of using the different tools on LinkedIn. So I wanted to leave you with, at the top of the toolbar where you see you have your home screen, you have My Network, always be connecting with new people a day. Obviously jobs, you guys are using that button. Messaging, be current on your message. Notifications, I always suggest looking through those. And then under the Me button where it goes to your profile, that's where you can add to your profile. So if you click on that, that's where it lets you add skills up to 50. You can add projects. And there's things that people sometimes don't know are under there. So I suggest really going in there and getting familiar with it. The tab to the right that says work has also some really good insights under learning and salary. So don't hesitate to play with that. Put in your job that you're applying for and what is the salary for that, and use LinkedIn tools because they are there to help you. And the learning tab has a ton of other resources that you can check out as well. But those are some of the top tips, the top 14 that I wanted to share with you today. And I'm looking at my clock when it's 3:20, so I think I'm on time. I really wanted just to end with, again, use LinkedIn in a way that you feel comfortable, in a professional way that is going to connect you with people and that is going to lead you to eyes being visible to your page, and that will lead you to your career through your engagement and how you're using it. So I hope you find that helpful.
Yeah, thank you, Monica. We have 9 more minutes left. So I've got a question. Tell us more on your mentoring experience, because we know that you are a co-author on a book of mentoring. So tell us more on your experience.
Mm-hmm. So as a recruiter, I'm often asked for advice, and I'm often asked to be put in touch with someone that might be able to help, or in touch with someone at a company. And mentoring started through the Human Resources Professionals of Association of Ontario. So if anyone on this webinar is looking for a role in HR, I really recommend HRPA because it is the largest in Ontario for human resources networking. But we have a chapter in York Region, and what we like to do is we like to partner people with experience with people that are just coming in to the field, for example. And I think most associations have this. So I know that, for example, if you're in finance, you're a finance grad and you're looking for, should I do my CA, my CPA, my CMA, my CGA? Be looking at associations where they have a mentoring program as well, because I think it goes hand in hand with what they're trying to do. They're trying to lead and engage and connect people. So I think regardless, I'm involved in the HRPA because I'm HR. I'm all about recruitment and retention and wellness. But every association and even the groups on LinkedIn have that opportunity, I think, to find a mentor. And don't be afraid to ask for a mentor as well. If it's someone that taught you in university, or someone that was who's your best manager? Who's your favorite manager? Who do you look up to most? Why not send them a note and start with, thanks so much for leading by example. Thanks so much for being a great manager when we worked together on that co-op term. I wanted to connect with you and ask your advice. Don't be afraid to send out those messages directly. I talk to people every day and they're afraid to ask for help, or they're afraid to ask for a meeting. But that's what LinkedIn is for. It's for connecting authentically and being you, and sharing that you have a search that's fully acceptable. And there's even a little tab on LinkedIn that says career advice in your personal profile. If you hit career advice, it's so cool. It says, how can people help you? And it gives you little templates, and you can put, I'm a recent grad looking for an opportunity, looking to connect with people that could guide me. I'm looking for a mentor. You can put that right in there. And it populates a few people that have put themselves that they're willing to give advice or they're willing to mentor. And it will, by keyword, match you up with a potential mentor that might be a first degree connection of yours that you might not have thought of. So use those tools because they're right there on LinkedIn and they're meant for you. So different ways of getting to a mentor, but again, through groups, through associations, or through that career advice tab right on your profile, right on LinkedIn.
Perfect. And the second question, you are a very successful recruiting director. Please tell us prepare for the first interview?
Sorry, someone has their phone not on mute, so I can
Sorry.
repeat the question.
Yeah, a question was, you're a very successful recruiting director, and please tell us how to prepare for the first interview.
Okay, yeah. So I'm a big believer of doing the research ahead of time, as mentioned. So not just the company, but every single person that you're going to be meeting with. Beyond that, the standard is looking at their website, and obviously everyone's looking at the company website. But when you actually go into LinkedIn and you research the people that work there, again, if you have a direct connection, your best bet is to have that informational interview. If you can have one informational interview of someone to give you insight, what's this hiring manager like? That can take the edge off the interview and help you prep already. But even looking at their page and what are they involved in and what have they been doing? If they're interviewing 5 candidates and you're the only one that says, hey, I went to your page, I saw that you're having a keynote speaker tomorrow on Women's Day. That's great. I saw that you're involved in the community. You're doing different things for, for Earth Day, and that you've had some really cool job postings, not just this one, but other ones. So it looks like you're really in growth mode. And if you're showing that you've done your homework, you're excited, you're engaged, and you're full of insights about the company and the person interviewing you, you're going to stand out from the crowd. So the real tip in the interview is to stand out from the crowd and to not be nervous. So I just went through at the event this week some wellness tips on not being nervous, but really deep breathing, grounding exercises. If you get nervous before an interview and you've done all your homework and you're shaking, take some time, don't put the notes away, and just take some time to breathe, put your feet on the ground, think about the most positive thing you can think of, because it will automatically evoke positive emotion. Do the Superman pose, the power pose, they call it now. So whatever makes you feel confident before going in, and think to yourself already and project that you've already got this. So in your discussion, always show that your interest level's there, and always at the end, the ending is so important, because the employer will say something, the prospective employer will say something. Always end with your interest level in moving forward with the opportunity, if you're interested, of course. So, I did some research before this interview. Thank you so much for your time. Having had this meeting, my interest level is even higher now. I really look forward to next steps. Have a clear and crisp close to your interview. That's really important. Again, regardless of how nervous you are, have that thank you and that I'm interested line in your own language, being your own authentic self, nailed, so that when you end, it's a firm handshake, good eye contact, and they're like, wow, this person did everything right, and we want to hire them. So that, I think, is the most important.
Perfect. A huge thank to Monica Gibbs for her very interesting webinar on job search and delivery strategies. It was super interesting, Monica, and useful for people who are actively looking for the job. And finally, I'd like to thank all attendants. Thank you guys all for your time and interest. I hope it was really interesting webinar for you as well and useful. And I hope you enjoyed with the event. Thank you again. Have a great.
Just in closing, if any of you have questions, I'm happy to answer them offline as well. I'm on LinkedIn as Monica Gibbs. My website is monicagibbs.com if you want to get in touch with me directly. I'm happy to share, again, articles and just some other tips. If you weren't able to track everything down by hand, I'm happy to share, again, the article, the interview with Jeff Weiner, and just some points. So if you're interested, just message me directly, either through LinkedIn or my website. I'd be happy to share that.
Perfect. I shared your website information a couple of times in the chat, and I'm sure if they have any questions, they will gonna talk to you soon. Thank you again, and have a great day.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.